Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as usual, I will do my best to get to your questions and see if we can't solve your problems here on the live stream. So let's get started. So I'm here with the rig. And it's a pretty relaxed Saturday afternoon here in West Michigan. The sun is shining and it's pretty mild. I think it's around 60, late, high 60s, early, mid, low 70s. It's going to start to cool off, according to my wife. She's my weather person. I can check all kinds of weather, but if I say it's going to rain, she'll say, no, it's not. She'll correct me. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. A little bit of talk about the thumbnail that I created. I wanted something. I got an email from Ledger about their recovery service that's coming soon. So I want to talk about it. There were a few things, some vulnerabilities that I was mistaken about, although I'm still not comfortable with the backup service itself. I've gone over and over again how I still believe that it is optional and not a threat to the security of your private key if you don't use it. A lot of people don't trust Ledger anymore. I won't get too much into that. I kind of want to talk about what it is about, how it's going to be implemented, and why I still am not comfortable with using it myself. But I want to get into a broader discussion of self-custody in general and how this new feature in the Ledger wallet, which is, you can't deny, it is the #1 hardware wallet out there on the market, at least for now. And what this whole process is going to do to self-custody. So kind of wanted to talk about that. Wanted to talk a little bit about the thumbnail that I made. So let's jump over to the screen. I want to thank everybody that's jumping into the live stream tonight. Kenny was here and is here. Was here earlier today, so I want to thank Kenny and thank you for the news stories. I did cull through your stories earlier today and used several of them in our news, so we'll talk about the news once we get into that. Simon is here. He wants me to try and recreate that face. I made a joke that I can't do that face in real life. It's kind of a surprised face, which I'm not very good at, but according to according to YouTube lore, the surprised look on your face is the most clickable on thumbnails, and I really just don't get that, but apparently it is. I guess it's like a car accident. You can't look away. You're sort of drawn to it like a zombie or a moth to a light. I don't care for it myself, but this particular subject matter of the Ledger Recover service approaching made me think of that kind of shocked face. So I did my best to recreate it using my Stable Diffusion. And as you guys know, I've been using Stable Diffusion, so you can see in my Adobe Bridge that I made several attempts at creating this thumbnail. I kind of like this cartoon one down here. I think that's kind of fun, but it looks, it would have been a little hard to implement in the thumbnail. But for those of you who are not aware of AI, which I'm sure you are, you have to be, there is a program called Stable Diffusion which you can use to generate images. And I have what's called a LoRa, which is, I trained on a bunch of pictures of myself, which I had quite a few from my camera that I used to create previous thumbnail. So I had quite a few pictures of myself. And so as you can see here, it's a middle-aged man with glasses. If I just put man, it makes me too young. I don't really know why that is, but if I just say man, it always creates like a young version of myself. So I always say middle-aged man with glasses. Actually, I think if we put the little dash in here, it might make me a little bit older. And so I added this with eyebrows raised and scared look. And, you know, when we click generate, it's going to churn away and it's going to do some stuff. And it's going to create an original picture there of me. And so you can see this one, the eye didn't come out very well. So you have to try quite a bit. And, you know, we could switch this one from the digital art to the comic, which is always fun if I can find it. There it is, comic book. So when we use the comic book filters in the prompt, which you can't see, we get like this comic book looking thing, which is similar, but not as fun. I think I've used a few of those comic book ones in some of my, and there's one with like a little balloon on me. So yeah, that's what I've been doing in my spare time. Okay, so let's jump into the news, guys. The first thing I want to mention news-wise is that I have been trying to consistently post my live stream discussion in a Spotify podcast. For those of you who listen to Spotify in the car or while they're working out or walking or jogging, and just like to listen to stuff, I basically download the live stream and chop off that first 5 minutes of preparation so that if you listen to it on Spotify, you know, you'll jump right in and hear me talking. I don't know if a lot of what I say translates to audio only because I'm doing a lot of demos and things like that. But I invite any of you who are interested to check out the Spotify. It's a link. There's a link to it in the description. So, and then we'll jump into our first quick story. I'll cover it briefly, and then we'll jump into the rest of the news. But for those of you who aren't familiar or that have stumbled into my live stream for the first time, you'll notice if you scroll down in the description, there's quite a bit of information there for you talking about what we're going to cover tonight. And my Amazon link, if you're interested in my rig, which I talked about at the very beginning. I've got a little Amazon link that you can go check out all of the accessories that I have bought for my rig. And this would help support me in the channel if you're interested in getting any of this stuff. I should put more of the other stuff that I've bought in the past, but this is my current rig. It's using a Ryzen 9, which is like the latest gaming rig, gaming chip, and a high-end motherboard. I don't know if you want to go out and get a motherboard this expensive, but there are lots of options out there. So I wanted to point that out, and what we're going to cover tonight, how to get a hold of me. Always feel free to shoot me an email if you have a problem. I usually, reply to 3 or 4 emails in the course of the week with people that have specific questions. And I'll either talk to you directly, or if the question is pretty generic, I'll always include a link to a relevant video that I've done in the past that might help you out. A lot of people have questions that I've already answered because I've been doing this channel and I've got over 800 videos. So please feel free to shoot me an email. There's a link to the podcast there, and there's a link to all this news. I couldn't get this article a shorter link. I don't know why, but I wanted you to at least be able to check out the article that I'm going to talk about, and then the rest of the news links, and then affiliate links for some of the wallets that we're going to talk about tonight. So without further ado, let's jump into the news real quick. This is the letter that I received from Ledger. I actually got it as an email from Ian Rogers, but I left it in long form here as a link that you could check out. I'm sure he sent it out to all of the Ledger affiliates. And there were several blog posts concerning Ledger Recover that I would like to talk about a little bit. And then, so you might want to check this out yourself. There's some links to some posts about this. And then apparently he was doing a podcast with his daughter about several crypto-related subjects. So you might want to check that out. We'll talk about this more when we're done with the headline news. By the way, I was in the middle of thanking everybody. And so Poppy, G. Graham, Dr. Hogan, Crypto P, Midwest Wind, Marco PT, Amsterdam Holland, Paul Wizzle, and Craig M, Mustafa Lam, thank you for being here, all of you. Kenny, as again, JDO, thanks for being here tonight. It is a wonderful day today. Weather is just fine. Scott Lee is here again. Thanks for being here, Scott Lee. Christopher Thane from Australia. Vinny Rondo. Cool. It's good to have everybody here. Chippy again. It's nice to have you here. Bitcoin Trini. What's going on? Well, we're into it right now. We're going to jump into the news and then we'll talk about Ledger. And then I've got a whole bunch of like wallets and transfers I'm going to do for you guys live. So if you want to go, if you're not interested in the news or the Ledger stuff, just go make a sandwich and come back and maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or an hour, and we'll be doing a lot of crypto transfers tonight. So got a lot of stuff on the plate I want to get through with you guys. I'm glad you're all here. So let's jump into it. JPMorgan is exploring blockchain-based payment and settlement. It is exploring blockchain-based payment and settlement system. There we go. I got it out. According to Bloomberg. So, you know, this is a sea change from what JPMorgan was saying back in 2017, 18, 19 even. I mean, Jamie Dimon of JPMorgan was calling Bitcoin a scam, was disparaging his daughter from buying it. I mean, publicly. He even said stuff like he would fire anybody that was trading it. And here we are now, all this time later. JPMorgan is now looking into blockchain-based settlement systems. It's really interesting, right? So we've got a lot of high finance adoption going on in crypto right now, mostly in Bitcoin. We know we've got BlackRock that's applying for an ETF and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that this is good. It's all good, right? It's good adoption news, but is high finance taking over the crypto market? And the self-custody portion of crypto, the part that I focus on, is sort of getting marginalized or diluted by Ledger. We don't know, or I don't know if that's by design. We'll talk more about that. But so here we are. Banking giant JPMorgan Chase & Company is exploring blockchain-based digital payment and settlement system, according to Bloomberg News. JPMorgan developed much of the infrastructure for the project, which requires a digital deposit token, but can't move ahead with system before getting the go-ahead from U.S. regulators. Citing a person familiar with the matter. Obtaining approval, the firm could launch the project for corporate clients within a year. So here we are. We're not dealing with crypto for the little guy anymore. JPMorgan wants to, provide crypto services to their institutional clients, their corporate clients, right? So the big boys are moving in. That's what we're getting out of this, right? But is it going to be good for all of us? It should be good for the price of Bitcoin. But what about the promise of crypto, right? Decentralized crypto currency that is not controlled by big banks or big government for the little guy. Are we going to be able to have private custody of our own decentralized cryptocurrency, send it back and forth without government interference, without the government being able to take our coins, right? Or whatever the word, when the tax guy confiscates your bank account, and stuff like that. Crypto is was supposed to be immune to all that. But what's going to happen, when we all start holding our crypto in custodial solutions such as this, right? It'll be subject to the same kind of whims as our bank accounts if this evolves into this type of situation. So I wanted to bring that up. I told you the story of the Bitcoin ATM last week, and I got an email from Randy a couple of days ago stating that the nice couple that we helped get their crypto back from the Bitcoin ATM company have now received their Bitcoin in their Cash App. So that's really good news. I'm really happy for them. As you may know, Cash App you can store Bitcoin in the Cash App. I think they've got a couple of different, maybe only Bitcoin. Maybe it's PayPal that has multiple. But storing Bitcoin in the Cash App is a custodial solution. This is not a self-custody wallet. And when I was talking with that Bitcoin ATM representative, they were telling me that, they don't want to send to self-custody wallets, right? They want to send to these types of wallets because they have to be registered by the government now. There's a lot that goes into getting a Bitcoin ATM established and regulated, and up to spec and code and all that stuff. They have basically been taken over by the powers that be. And so they, when you go to a Bitcoin ATM, there's a surveillance camera. You got to take a selfie and all. You got to show your ID. When I was back in 2017, I found a Bitcoin ATM and they were basically anonymous, right? You could just walk up to a Bitcoin ATM, stick in cash, and hold up your wallet address, right? They didn't care. But now it's like the whole process is like, you got to show KYC to use a Bitcoin ATM, and they don't even want to send to a self-custody wallet. They want to send to these custodial type wallets. So it seems like custodial solutions are creeping in to our beloved crypto self-custody. But I'm still going to be here showing you how to use wallets, right? Another piece of crypto news, ARK Invest seeks SEC approval for the U.S. spot Ether ETF. There's a picture of Cathie Wood, and that might have been generated by AI for all I know. I always wondered, this looks like an artist rendering of her, right? But it could have been AI generated. ARK Invest by Cathie Woods has filed an application with the U.S. SEC and is now awaiting approval for implementing a U.S. spot Ether ETF, not Bitcoin, Ether. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has been rejecting applications left, right, and center when it comes to spot BTC ETF. However, the one with Ether could be a different story, especially after the verdict went in favor of Grayscale Investment. Her investment firm, 21 Shares, is in line to seek approval from the commission. The filing was submitted this Wednesday to make their first attempt at gaining a license to have a fund directly investing in Ether. Ether is the second largest cryptocurrency when measured in market capitalization. The cryptocurrency, I believe, is called Ethereum or ETH, and the term Ether is generally reserved to mean the part that the fees, right? The underlying, I don't know. There's a distinction between the cryptocurrency Ethereum and the term Ether, which means like the payment layer, right? The part that pays your fees, right? When you're using Ethereum wallets. Anyway, just a bit of semantics there. So let's see. Well, we kind of get the nub of the gist on that story, right? I want to talk about this story. I don't know if Dan's here. Oh yeah, Dan is here. Good. So I wanted to run this story by Dan, right? A trader who called 2021 Bitcoin collapse, predicts meteoric BTC rally, says to expect the unexpected, right? So usually when a trader is right, at least once in their career, they sort of use that as their credential, right? Just like Nouriel Roubini, Dr. Doom predicted the 2008 crash before it happened, supposedly. They always refer to him when he comes on any show or in an article, it's like he's the one that successfully predicted the 2008 market crash. So here we have a Bitcoin an analyst who predicted the 2021 collapse, which sucked. And so now he's predicting something different. A crypto strategist who nailed Bitcoin's meltdown in 2021. Pseudonymous analyst Dave the Wave tells his 140,000 followers on social media platform X that Bitcoin appears to be in the midst of forming an immense inverse head and shoulders pattern on the monthly chart. According to the chart shared by the analyst, he expects Bitcoin to break out of the bullish pattern sometime in 2025. 2025? En route to its target above 370,000, right? 2025. All right. Okay. Is anybody going to be around to confirm this in 2025? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think anyone is expecting anything like this. Well, maybe not. Always expect the unexpected. Okay. All right. So here's his chart. Here's 2025. This is now, I guess. And so looking at Dave the Wave's chart, he appears to predict that BTC will revisit its all-time high at around 69,000 sometime next year. Okay, that's a little more in the nearer future, right? Sometime next year. Before a deep corrective move below 50,000 to form the right shoulder of the pattern. The chart also shows that Bitcoin would go on a roaring 2-year bull run after forming the base of the right shoulder. So basically, according to this chartist, he's saying Bitcoin will hit all-time high next year after the halving, and then will pull back under 50 for a bit and then explode higher. I don't know. What do you think about all this, Dan? It's kind of a strange chart. Let's see. Wonder if anyone got emails said from Ledger support and that I needed to install my 2FA to my Ledger wallet in order to protect my assets by certain dates, or maybe I have problems when I transfer. Phone XA Feldra, that sounds like a scam to me. Ledger does not send people emails telling them that they need to implement some kind of security feature by some sort of deadline. Generally, when you get an email telling you that you're going to lose access to your crypto unless you do something by a deadline, those are all red flags. I probably would just, there is no requirement to enable 2FA on Ledger anyway. Ledger is a hardware wallet protected by a PIN, so there's no need to implement two-factor authentication within a Ledger in any way or form. Ledger Live runs local on your computer. It does connect to the internet. It doesn't have to have a password to get into it, but you can add one if you want. But there's really two-factor authentication really makes no sense for Ledger Live or a Ledger device. So phone X-ray, I wouldn't deal with that. Broken clock is right twice a day, every day, right, Dan? I expect a parabolic move in 2025. Okay, so Dan kind of agrees with this article. Soloway was saying that BTC was going to plunge when everyone was calling to the moon. Yeah. As you guys may know, I am not a huge chartist. You can analyze charts all day long. There are patterns, so analyzing charts is, what investors do. So I can't discount it completely, but Bitcoin and especially the crypto market have a trajectory all their own based on fear and greed. And so sometimes the charts just can't encapsulate that sort of stuff. But I believe, when you analyze charts, you're looking at market behavior, and market behavior flows in patterns, right? Human greed can be measured by behavior. All right, let's move on to the next story here. El Salvador to introduce Bitcoin education in schools by 2024. As far as I know, my kids' middle school or high school don't have any blockchain courses, as far as I'm aware. I'm sure you can take blockchain courses in college. That's, it's kind of included in cryptography, the study of cryptography. So, I mean, if you're a computer science major or a statistics major or, a math major, I'm sure you're going to be exposed to, blockchain technology in school. But I don't know about primary school, middle school, and high school. But El Salvador looks like they're going to be offering this in its curriculum. So let's see, what kind of age groups are we looking at? The Ministry of Education of El Salvador and the nonprofit non-governmental organization MI Primer Bitcoin, meaning My First Bitcoin, partnered to add Bitcoin education to public school curriculum by 2024. That's just next year. Students receive a diploma of completion. An inspiring vision. The future of El Salvador shines bright with plans to introduce Bitcoin education in every public school by 2024. Okay, so they're talking about public school and they're showing a picture of pretty young kids. So I guess they're talking about elementary school, which is very interesting. So El Salvador, as you know, was the first country to legalize Bitcoin as an official currency. So pretty cool. I like these kind of adoption stories. And let's see, I got another story here about Bitcoin wallets. The number of Bitcoin wallets crosses 48 million for the first time. Well, yeah. A milestone moment for the world's leading cryptocurrency. The total number of Bitcoin wallet addresses has surged past 48 million, marking an all-time high. The popularity of BRC20 tokens among retail investors and a flurry of Bitcoin ETF applications from TradeFi unicorns have helped deepen BTC adoption in 2023. Okay. So amid volatile Bitcoin price action in recent weeks, this historic achievement underscores the growing adoption and widespread interest in Bitcoin as a digital asset. Yep. I'm going to try not to mute the mic tonight, so we'll try to be very careful. But that is a milestone in self-custody. So, the subject matter of the live stream tonight is self-custody on its way out? Is it going to be extinct? And I don't know. I still like to maintain my own wallet and store crypto in my own wallet, but the line has been blurred quite a bit by the Ledger company by introducing their recovery service, which manages your private key for you, so to speak. Let's see. I want to jump into the chat here. I saw that someone had brought up the fact that they were contacted directly by Ledger, so I wanted to address that from Phone XA. Phone XA. I hope you got that. When you get emails telling you that you need to do something to keep your money safe and that kind of stuff, those are usually scams. Those are red flags. Anyone have suggestions on the banks and credit cards that allow you to buy crypto using your accounts? I use Chase. I have a Chase bank account. I have never, and I don't recommend using your credit card to buy crypto. Not a good investment strategy to purchase crypto on credit. Because of the volatility in the crypto market, my advice is to only spend money you can afford to lose. So putting your crypto on a credit card is probably not a good sound strategy, unless, of course, you're planning on paying off your balance every month and you're just using the credit card as, a means to an end, I suppose. But personally, I've never used a credit card. But my Chase Bank works just fine with Coinbase, and that's my major crypto on-ramp. My Chase Bank works just fine with crypto.com and Cash App. I also have a hi, kitty. Yeah, I don't want you interrupting me during the live stream, but I guess I should introduce you. Yeah, kitty's here. I hope you just relax, sit down, and don't roll around on my keyboard, dude. Yeah, I don't know if he probably wants out. He likes to go out at night. So in the beginning, when we first started letting him outside, we were a little concerned at night. But he seems to find his way back. He's got a little air tag on his collar there that I can use to track him. And sometimes at night, like at 10 o'clock at night, he's like a mile away. But he usually comes back. So yeah, he's cat. He's independent. Okay, so we got through the news here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Ledger situation. I think we're okay there. Yeah, we got some stuff. I don't want to get too deep into this, but one thing that I will point out is that if you look at this article that I shared with you, this email, there's a link to part 4. Which takes you to part 4 of the blog series about the Ledger Recover service. And at the very beginning of the article are links to parts 1, 2, and 3. So and I read through all these today. It's pretty dry stuff. It was a bit of a struggle for me to get through it. When I'm reading in front of my computer, I'll fall asleep at some point. Okay, let me get back to part 1. And someone is commenting here. The misinformation people take is Ledger has a backdoor directly in their device. They lack the understanding that the recovery service is accessed through the Ledger Live app. Yes, and most credit cards charge higher fees if you're using them to buy crypto. So you can connect a credit card. I believe you can connect a credit card to Coinbase or Kraken or crypto.com and use your credit card to make purchases. But the fees would be higher. So yeah, I would try to avoid credit cards if possible. Chase Bank works just fine. I don't know about Wells Fargo. I haven't used Wells Fargo in many years. I have a Lake Michigan credit union, and that ACH connection works just fine. Let's see here. Bets, the Ledger Live app is already connected to the internet, so there is no vulnerability. The Ledger itself won't ever access the service unless the user approves manually. Very well spoken. Thank you for that, Bets. I wanted to kind of point that out in part 1 here. He makes this statement here. When using a Ledger device, you are guaranteed that no one can interact with your private keys without your consent, ever. Any interaction with the secrets held by your device will always require a manual action on your end. It is the core principle of your hardware's wallet security. Now, a lot of people bag on Ledger for having part of their process secret. Well, this is by design. It has always been this way. There are a lot of other wallets that use a secret process. The way your phone works is secret in many respects. A lot of things have a secret to protect people from accessing those processes, right? And Ledger will often say military grade security. So if you look at this this base here, this little tweet here announcing the base service, it's yet another reminder that Ledger wallets are the only wallets that provide both military grade hardware security and support for a wide range of blockchains. So when they say military grade security, they're talking about a secret. They're talking about something that cannot be accessed because it runs on the secure chip element, and Ledger firmware is not open source. So that's what most people are attacking, but that has been a part of the Ledger hardware wallet and other hardware wallets for many years. The fact that what goes on inside is a secret. Not really a weakness, just a secret. And so a lot of people bag on Ledger saying, oh, well, because they're not totally transparent, we can't trust them. But we trust so many things in our day-to-day life. I know crypto is in its own category, but a hardware wallet does what it does. It's a black box. We won't get too far into that. But that's the main thing to stress about the Ledger Recover service, is that it can only be implemented by the user using the buttons, right? And I wanted to, and I won't go through all these where they talk about how all this gets implemented, but suffice it to say that during the setup of your Ledger device, you have the option to enter or implement this recover service, and it is pretty sound cryptographically. And part of what my objection to it was that the three pieces that get sent off to three different providers, I was under the impression that any two could get together and put the pieces together to gain access to your seed phrase, and I was mistaken about that. The entire seed phrase is encrypted. So even if two of the entities decide to get together to put your Shamir backup together, they would only end up with an encrypted seed phrase. So the seed phrase itself is decrypted on your device during the restore process. So I was mistaken about that. So this whole idea of the law enforcement or government demanding access to this Shamir backup wouldn't give them direct access to your seed phrase. But this is according to Ledger, right? So it's much more complicated than I thought, right? But I still have a problem with this service. One of the things that they talk about in part one is, okay, a lot of people have ideas about how to back up their seed phrase. And so they give this little example here, and they say, okay, well, what if you split up your seed phrase into three parts, and you give one part to three trusted people, one to your mom, one to your friend, one to your son, or whatever, any people that you trust. And so hopefully they won't all three get together, right? This is kind of a crude example. But one of the things they mention here is that if one of those people loses their piece, then you're screwed, right? And so they go, oh, well, our service is so much better than that because we use a Shamir backup that's a 2 of 3, or a 2 of n, but they use 2 of 3, which means that, okay, there's two pieces out of 3. And so one of those pieces can conceivably get lost, and you would still have the other 2 that would help you recreate your backup. So it's more secure than this little scheme of just cutting up your seed phrase into pieces. But it's still vulnerable to the same thing. What if 2 of the entities go down and you're only left with 1 piece? Well, then you're screwed, right? So it's not, I mean, it's better than this little thing, but it's not foolproof, right? So if you are only relying on ledger recover, you do not write down your seed phrase, and you're only relying on ledger recover, and something happens to 2 of those entities out there, and you lose your device and you need to restore, then you're screwed, right? So it's not a foolproof system in any way or form. And then this is what really, the part 4 is really what gets me, where they talk about the IDV. Now, the IDV is that component that is needed to decrypt the recovery phrase after it has been reassembled, right? And this is it's some kind of cryptographic representation of several elements. So the first element is your identity documents, right? So you're required during the process to produce a government issued ID or your passport or something that is an official document. And you scan that in, and then by that scan, they can pull out your birth date, where you were born, all that kind of stuff, right? Then they also require biometrics data. So they're going to have you record a short video. And from that short video, they will extract a selfie at some point. So you've got a lot of biometric data, and they've got this liveness check, which checks to make sure that it's not AI generated, or a live interview of some sort. So yeah, I get it. It's pretty thorough. But do you really want all of your biometric information to be sliced and diced and saved somewhere? And then, in addition to, you've got the cryptographic security of your seed phrase. Okay, seems pretty sound. But then you also have to worry about the cryptographic security of this IDV that gets created, right? This slicing, dicing of all my biometric data combined with my official documents becomes, some kind of crypto key. And it gets stored on ledger servers and some other server, coin cover somewhere. So there's 2 of them. And then during the recovery process, right, this gets backed up, right? So let's say you lose your device and you get a new one and you want to do a restore. You have to do this process again, right? You're going to have to show your ID. You're going to have to take a little selfie. And then that generates a new IDV, which is more involved in KYC, right? And during this process, if all goes well, your 2 pieces that are required will be retrieved from the services that are storing them, comes together on your new device, and using this IDV crypto key, it gets decrypted back to the recovery phrase, and the ledger, the new ledger gets restored. So many things that could go wrong. What if during the process it misscans your birth date, and then you verify that on the device, and then during the recover you try to use your real birth date, and it doesn't have your real birth date, it has the erroneous one. I mean, there's just so many things that could go wrong with this whole process. It does sound like they've put a lot of work into it. They also have, let me see if I can find it here. We know about the biometric. Okay, so here are the 3 scenarios during the recovery process, right? Number 1, you successfully pass the 2 verification processes, the recovery is accepted, and the 2 shares are sent through a secure channel to your device. That's if everything goes right. Or you get a mixed or full rejection from the 2 IDVs, and you decide not to ask for manual investigation, and your recovery is aborted. Okay, so that just means you gave up, right? And you can't do your restore. And then the number 3, you get a mixed or full rejection from the 2 IDVs, and you decided to fill out a claim to continue the recovery process. A manual investigation process starts, detailed below. So this is where, like, you're interviewed in person. They even have like a scenario where, okay, they get during this video chat, you may be asked to hold up your ID to your camera and, you know, put your finger over certain parts of it. You have to answer randomly generated questions or perform unusual movements. What's like doing the chicken? Or whatever you got to do to convince them that you're who you are. Certify your documents. I mean, and it might involve a legal officer. I mean, do you really want to take the risk of your restore process being dependent on all of that stuff out there? And then, you know, you've got to like pull in some agent to come, you know, it's just not. To me, I want to have full control of the process. If I want to do a restore on my device, I want it to be between me, the seed phrase that I have written on a piece of paper, and my device. I don't need anyone or want anyone else to be involved in that process, no matter how cryptographically secure. It's just too much out there. That's my take for me. Now, so my question to all of you is, do you think that this is the future of crypto custody? Because they're trying to appeal to the segment of the population that are just not capable of managing their own seed phrase. And so they do this, they go through this process. It's still not trivial, right? It's still complicated to go through, but you don't have to write down 24 words and keep them safe and store them, right? You basically just go through a little process on the device. You show a bunch of ID and you trust them to like store all that securely. And then if you lose your device, you trust that process to accurately manage to restore your device, right? That's just too much for me. What do you guys think? I'm going to read a little bit. Evelyn says she thinks it needs the original device, but I was wondering about that myself. But this IDV is stored on Ledger servers. It's not stored because if you need to recover. The idea of the recover is that you will not have your original device. That the original device will be lost, stolen, or damaged, right? So you will be doing this on a brand new device. Now, every device that they manufacture has the cryptographic ability to go through this process. I'm oversimplifying there, but this IDV is stored on Ledger servers. And once you have re-verified yourself during your restore process, this IDV token will be put on your device in order to do the decryption. But is this the future of self-custody? Is that, you know, people are just going to, you know, now Ledger claims that this is all self-custody, right? Because you are initiating this yourself and it is stored cryptographically sound. And, you know, no third parties are really involved. It's all, they have no access to your data, but they do, right? I mean, not that they have access to your private key, but they are required for you to do a restore. And there's no, and they claim that this IDV is cryptographically sound, stored securely, no one else can access it. But is it, do you really want your identity tied to your crypto? Because that's what this is, as far as I can see. You're giving them all your biometric data, your face, your voice, your gestures, whatever. They're claiming to store it securely. Are we going to trust them to do this? I don't know. So Ledger would be able to extract even our passphrase when one opts for a recovery. No. According to all of this stuff, they are not going to be able to extract your passphrase. It is only done during the process, and it is cryptographically secure. This is what all four of these like very complicated articles are showing us. I'm going to assume that what they're saying is true and that this is cryptographically sound. I'm just saying that there are vulnerabilities in this whole process. For one, if two of the companies go down that are holding your Shamir backup, then you have nothing to recover. So that's one vulnerability. And the other thing that I don't like is this whole biometric stuff that you have to provide for this IDV. It looks like cryptographically, supposedly, it's going to be safe and secure and stored safely and securely, but I don't know. Are we really going to trust Ledger to, store all of our biometric data now? Yeah. Let's see here. Evelyn, good incentive to keep track of your own seed phrase, your device. Keep it simple, Sam. I agree wholeheartedly with that, Evelyn. What was the name of the three companies again? The three companies are Ledger for one, CoinCover is number two, and they're based in the UK. And then the third company is Escrow Tech, a company based in the US. And we've talked before about these three entities. They're all part of the same, system, right? UK, US, and France. They're all part of the Western system, right? I had always said, well, what if law enforcement demands to see these Shamir backup pieces that they possess? And after reading these four blog articles, apparently, even if they recombine two pieces, they're left with an encrypted seed phrase. They don't have access to your seed phrase. The IDV, the biometric and document check, will allow this seed phrase to be decrypted, right? According to this. But to me, even if it works flawlessly, it's just the risk of something going wrong. Well, that's a contradiction. But okay, let's say even if this works flawlessly and privately no one can access your seed phrase, to me, it's just, I would go nuts worrying about this recover process and having to contact Ledger and doing all this just to do a recover. I'd rather do a recover in the privacy of my own home between me, my seed phrase, and my device. I don't need or want outside entities. I don't want to have to rely on outside entities to do a restore. That's just me. Some people might want that. I don't know. Let's see. Everyone's agreeing with Evelyn. Yeah. CryptoDad, I don't agree with the Ledger recovery service, but I also don't believe if you opt out, your device is vulnerable to backdoor. I don't either. I still, and I may be silly, a lot of people have bagged on me for saying this, I still trust the device to be safe and secure when used without the recovery service. There are a lot of people out there that don't agree with the recovery service. They think it introduces a backdoor into your device. I don't agree with that. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion, is that if I continue to use the device the way I've been using it, it's still one of the best and safest and secure ways to store your crypto. I will opt out of the recovery service. I just don't want to use it. It's just too much for me. Those incapable of keeping a seed will just buy the BTC ETF. Sounds logical for the 80-year-old grandmother. Yeah, I agree with that too, Rabba. That might be the best alternative for people that don't want to be involved in real crypto self-custody. But, I agree with that market-wise, but really, if we want Bitcoin to be adopted and used as a decentralized cryptocurrency, we should encourage everyone to use their own wallet and practice good self-custody. Just allowing some Wall Street firm to handle your Bitcoin for you is antithetical to the whole idea of what crypto is all about. But realistically, if all you really care about is the investment into cryptocurrency, then an ETF should be pretty safe and secure. I'm sure if you invest in a Bitcoin ETF, there'll be regulations that, that these big companies will have to comply with. Will they have a certain amount of Bitcoin in custody? I don't know if they'll be able to leverage any, who knows what goes on. But I would venture to say that if you're an 80-year-old grandma and you want to invest in Bitcoin, then if there is a Bitcoin ETF available in the next few years, that would be a safe and secure way to invest in Bitcoin. But it's really not a way to interact with it, in the pure sense of what decentralized crypto is all about. This is not the future. I'm not doing it. Hayes, thank you. I appreciate your sentiment on that, right? McAfee's Ghost, BitFi looked good right about now. If you complicate the seed phrase recovery process enough, then you ensure the new retail users run to create centralized crypto accounts. Yes. Because they've made it so complicated and controversial and introduced doubt, you're going to have more people just simply buying and holding on exchanges. I agree with that too. So people need to do a live feed with a Ledger employee. If everything else fails, right? If you're successful, if you do number one, then you don't need to talk to anybody, right? Number one, you successfully pass the two verification processes. This, ideally, if this works the way it's supposed to work, you won't have to deal with anybody. The number three is if something goes wrong, then you would have to deal with an employee at Ledger, right? Ideally, it'll all happen flawlessly. But you still will be interacting, with the internet and all of these entities, to recreate your backup. But it will all happen mathematically and safely and securely and cryptographically sound, right? That's the idea. Still, to me, it's just too many moving parts. I'm just suspicious that way of something breaking. I would just go nuts if let's say I had 50 grand worth of crypto on my device and I lost it or it got stolen. And then I'm trying to do their restore process. I didn't write down my seed phrase and something goes wrong. I would go nuts. And then I have to deal with someone in person. That's too much. The risk of that happening, I don't want the risk of that happening. I would, I've got a seed phrase. I know where it is. If something happens to my ledger, I can do a restore. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. I don't want to have to rely. And what if my internet's down? What if I can't connect to the internet? I mean, there's just so many things that could go wrong with this. Whatever. Let's see. Do we have an opt-out? Or opt-in. I believe it's just an opt-in, right? You're not required to enroll in Ledger Recover. you have to take action to make it happen. During your setup, you have the option of using their service when you initialize your device. You can just bypass it, right? There's no, oh, you don't have to opt out of recovery, as far as I know. I haven't set up a device lately. I've restored a device where in the new firmware, when you're doing a restore, there's an option for use recover. Let's see if I can. Well, I don't know if I can show you. I'm afraid it might. Well, it might. Let me just try it. Let me see what happens when I do this. I think this device is. I'm gonna try this. Well, wait. Let me see if I can. I think I've set up a pin here. And I'll show you this on camera as we get this entered. Oops. Okay. All right. It's not going to do it. All right. Fine. Let me reset this device. Okay. All right. So let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm just going to restart this device here. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. So here it is. All right. So we're back at the ledger screen. I believe, I sure hope that this device is running the latest firmware. Okay. So we go through here and okay, there. Restore. Restore from recovery phrase or restore using ledger recover, right? So that the functionality is in the firmware on the if you've got your device up to firmware. I don't know how it presents itself when you're setting it up as new, right? Because if you're setting it up as new, if I can get out of this, I don't know if I can get out of it. Let me see. Oh, I guess I can't now that I've got to this point. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But during the initial setup, when you are, I don't know if I can get out of it. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to power the device off. Maybe I can get back to that screen. Okay, yeah. All right, let's see what it looks like when we try to set it up. Where'd it go? Okay. Okay, setup as new. I got to choose the pin before it's going to let me do this. Let's see if I can do this without going too far off the rails. All right, I got to enter it again. Okay, there we go. All right, so they have write down your recovery phrase. All right. They are your recovery phrase. Press both buttons to continue. Okay, so I'm going to have to go through this, just a test, because it's a brand new factory device, right? I did a full reset on it, but I got to go through. So it looks like it's going to ask you to write down all of the words. All right. And then after you've written them down, it's going to make you confirm them, right? At least on this latest thing. All right. So I didn't write it down, so I'm not going to be able to go through all this. But I'm assuming that at the end of that process, they will offer me the option to use their recover. But it looks like, at least from what I can tell, you're forced to write down your recovery phrase either way, which seems odd because I thought that this whole idea of Ledger Recover was that you could choose to do this without having to go through all this process of writing it down. So perhaps you join Ledger Recover as a service first, and then it tells you to, start a new process. I don't know. It's kind of weird because as far as I can see on that device, it's a brand new device, fully reset. I had the option of using Ledger Recover to do the restore, but in setting up the device, it presented the words to me and then forced me to do a verification, which would require me to write all the words down first so that I could get through that verification process. Maybe at the end of that, I would have the option of using their recovery service. But it seems, I thought the idea was to bypass that whole process, which many people find tedious and difficult. But hey, who knows? All right, your seed will never leave your device unless you manually authenticate the recovery service with the 2 buttons. Yeah, that's the idea. I just don't know at what point during the setup you're able to do that. So I'll have to look into it a little more. As this whole thing is predicated on the fact that Ledger Recover is not yet available, right? You can't even do it yet. But I'm a little confused about where it occurs in the new setup of a new device. I don't know. So that's enough. I'll leave that to the nether. Anybody that wants to chime in with their opinion, I would really appreciate it. I'll keep an eye on the window. Yes, the service will cost you $10 a month, which sucks. Speaking of monthly charges, right? Back, I don't remember what year it was. I'd say 2019. We decided to go full cut the cable umbilical cord, right? And go full streaming on our television. And back then, so we don't have cable TV. We only use streaming services for our television. So, and the idea was that that would be cheaper because cable TV was like $100 a month, whatever it was, for all the bells and whistles, right? So we're like, okay, well, Netflix is $12. Hulu is like $8 or $10, and Amazon Prime is only $100 a year or whatever, $12 a month. So anyway, it was supposed to, all these streaming services are going to be cheaper than cable. Well, now, we've got Hulu, we've got Apple TV, we've got Peacock, we've got Amazon Prime, we've got Netflix, and they all keep raising their prices. Hulu is great, but who wants to have a streaming service with commercials? So I always buy the premium Hulu. Well, I just got an email saying that the ad-free premium Hulu service is now raising its price from whatever it was before. I think it was like $14, $14.99 before, or I think I seem to remember it being 12. Now it's like $17.99 a month for ad-free Hulu. Peacock. Ugh, it's just silly. Anyway, but I digress. I wanted to move some crypto around for you guys, and let's take a look at our itinerary here and see what we got here. Testing out various wallets, transferring crypto back and forth. Let's start with withdrawing some BAT from Uphold. A lot of people ask me how to withdraw from Uphold. So I would like to, let's start there. And let's see, I've got my Uphold account open, wherever it is. I thought I had it open. Oh, here. Okay. And they've logged me out, which pisses me off. Why can't they just keep me logged in? I can be logged into Coinbase all day long. They never log me out. So session timeout due to inactivity. Okay, so let's log back in. I need my two-factor. For Uphold, which I have on my Google Authenticator. Okay. All right. So let's withdraw I have some basic attention token that I've been earning from Brave. I think it's part of my Brave when people can tip me in Brave, and I earn BAT tokens as a social media influencer, whatever. It used to be pretty substantial, not anymore. But anyway, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to turn my nose up at, $30-40 a month. There's nothing bad about that. But let's withdraw this BAT to my own wallet, right? And let's use, why don't we, I was going to use Ledger. I guess I'll stick with that. We can try a couple of different things, right? So this is Ledger Live. So we want to go over here to accounts, and BAT token is an ERC20 token. It runs on the Ethereum blockchain. So let's put it in our Ethereum wallet. Now, we can scroll down here and you can see that I already have a little bit of BAT in this wallet. So we're okay. Even if I didn't, I should still be able to just transfer some BAT into my Ethereum wallet. So there are a couple ways to do this. We can go into the tokens and just click here to get our address, receiving address, right? I'll skip the hardware check. Or we can just get our Ethereum wallet address, right? We can just go into our main Ethereum wallet, do a receive, and get the Ethereum address. It just popped up that firmware update is available because this black ledger was not running 2.2.2. I'm not going to go through that right now. I'm just going to disconnect it. But that's why it's asking me to do that. My other ledger has already been updated to the latest 2.2.2, the one that we're going to use tonight. I got to re-enter my PIN here. Make sure I haven't muted my mic. All right, let's get this going. I got a couple of different transfers I want to go through tonight. All right, so I've got my device open. I can ignore that warning. If you connect any device that is not running the latest firmware, you'll get this little alert, and it won't go away, even when you connect your fully updated device, right? So if I go over to my ledger with this device, this is my go-to device, and I'll go ahead and authorize that. It's going to say, oh, okay, you're running the latest firmware, all right? So yeah, I am running 2.2.2, but it's going to keep telling me that it went away. Okay. Or did it? Well, I guess it did. Okay. So we're in here. And it was a good thing I was skipping that hardware check when I was showing you this, because if I had done the hardware check, it would have failed because I had the black device connected, the Ledger Black. Okay, so this time I do have the device, so let's go ahead and do the hardware check. Wants me to open the Ethereum app. This is best practice even when you're doing a receive. You want to verify that the device matches the account, and you can see the address on your device, and you can see it over here. I'm going to copy this into my clipboard. Right, and then we'll just go ahead and approve that hardware check. So we got the address in our clipboard now. So let's go back over to Uphold and withdraw that BAT to our wallet. So we got to go over here. So the source will be the BAT account, right? The account that has some BAT in there. I could kind of conceivably combine these BAT, the BAT onto one, but I'm not going to go through that. Let's just grab the stuff that is in this account. The destination. Now, here's the tricky part for most people with Uphold. And they're wondering, how do I transfer? So let's click destination. A lot of people choose like maybe another account. Well, this is no good. All this is going to do is move the crypto between accounts within Uphold. Like if I were to say, oh, okay, well, how about I choose SHIB, right? All it's going to do is convert my BAT tokens to SHIB, which is not really what I'm after, right? I'm trying to withdraw to an outward account, all right? What I really want is, and I don't want to have to go through all this, I can just put in BAT here. I want to keep it as BAT, right? I don't want to convert it to anything else. So I have all these choices because I have several BAT accounts. Those are no good either because I don't want to just move it into another BAT account within Uphold. I don't even want to do this. I don't know what the heck this does either. This like creates a new account within Uphold. What I want is Crypto Network's basic attention token, and it says Ethereum network here. This is the way to transfer out of Uphold to my own wallet, right? So, and how much do I want to do? I'm going to do, I don't want to do dollars. I'll do BAT. Let's do 100 BAT. That way we could try some other destinations. Now, it's going to cost me 89 cents because the Ethereum fees are high. And here is where I paste in my address. Right? That's the key, right? You need an address of your own wallet, right? We're trying to put this in our wallet. So this is the Ethereum address of my ledger-based wallet. We'll confirm that. Everything looks good. We're paying the fee. Let's hit confirm withdrawal. We're going to need our two-factor again. All right, we'll continue there, and hopefully that goes through before my cycle. Okay, good. All right, let's do it again because I left some BAT in there, not a whole bunch. Let's do it again with a different destination. This time we'll use our Trezor device. I've got my Trezor suite here, and let's go over to accounts. We can do just Ethereum. We can do it that way. We can do a receive. Now note that there is some BAT in here already, not a lot, but we don't need to use the BAT address. We can just do the address of the Ethereum wallet, just like we did over in Ledger. Let's hit receive. To show the full address, we'll click this, and then we can do our hardware check. Right? Here's the overhead view of what I'm doing. Here's my device over here. So I'll give you a bird's eye view of my Trezor device, right? Here's my hardware check. If it come into focus for me, there it is. I can confirm this address from what I see on the device to what I see on my computer screen. We'll hit confirm here. And then if we go back over here, now it says copy address. I mean, it's just a best practice to do a hardware check. Now let's go back over here, and for our destination, again, we will choose BAT Crypto Network, right? So we'll do basic attention token Ethereum network. Let's put in another 100 BAT, and we'll do preview. We'll paste in the address of our Trezor device this time. We'll hit confirm, and we'll another 82 cents. I haven't muted my mic, thank goodness. Okay, so now they're putting me through, they're making me jump through hoops. This is one thing I don't like about Uphold. I don't like to be treated like a child. I am moving my funds to a non-custodial wallet. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Please, don't treat me like a child. It's not a scam. Just let me do this for Pete's sake. All right, so now I'm going to put in my two-factor for Uphold again. I have two-factor on my Uphold account. It just kind of bothers me that they put me through that situation when I know what I'm doing and I have two-factor. But anyway, did it work? I don't know. Did it work? Let's go to recent activity and say, okay, so it did. All right, so we can double check both destinations and see. Over in Ledger, we'll want to go down here to BAT. I believe it already came in. Yeah, see, there it is. Came into my Ledger Live. My Ledger Live is monitoring the blockchain, right? So it sees there's an incoming transaction into the wallet, and it has updated my balance, right? Let's go over to the Trezor Suite, take a look at what's going on there. Let's see here. Ethereum tokens. It hasn't arrived yet. As far as I can see. Let's see, where's trans? Oh, there it is. Okay. So that happened today. That's coming into the wallet. So, but I don't think it'll be reflected in the balance until it's fully confirmed. So, but there you go. That is transferring crypto from an exchange to your wallet. Now, I wanted to do another one that's a little more complicated. So buckle in, guys. Let's see here. Let me just see what we got here. Okay, so I wanted to do a cash out. There's a new cash out feature in Metamask. I haven't set it up yet. I'll try to do a full video on that, but it requires registering with a third-party payment processor, which I can't really do live, right? Because there's too much personal information. And a lot of times those things are kind of wonky and fail you have to try a couple of times. So I'm not going to do that, but I will show you how to cash out from Coinbase, right? So I have some various crypto in different forms that I would like to cash out. And well, let's start with the optimism. Relatively simple. We'll go over to Metamask. Here. All right, so this is my Metamask wallet. Now, Metamask is a browser-based wallet that you can use to manage crypto. Now, when you first set it up, it's just basically going to give you a basic account, which is relatively secure. The private key is stored on your computer. But if you really want MetaMask to shine and be super secure, you should attach a hardware wallet, which is what I've done, right? If you look in my list of accounts, you can see that I've got two different accounts that are based on my hardware devices. These accounts are protected by my hardware device. So in order to transfer crypto, I need to confirm on the hardware device. So this is a much better way to manage crypto in MetaMask. So let's go to this one. And we'll do the Optimism first. So I need to be on the Optimism network to do this. So I'm going to switch over to the Optimism network. And you can see there that I've got a little bit of Optimism in the wallet, right? So we want to move this onto into my Coinbase account. So let's go back over to Coinbase. And how do I deposit crypto into an exchange from my wallet? Well, basically going to do the same thing that I just did, only in the opposite direction, right? So in this case, I want to move the crypto from my wallet to the exchange. So every exchange has the ability to send and receive crypto. Some exchanges call it deposit and withdraw. Coinbase calls it send and receive. So basically, I want to receive some crypto into my Coinbase account. Well, they've got a Bitcoin address, but we want to use the Optimism. So we'll just click up here and switch it to OP, right? We can search for it. There it is. Now, Coinbase is going to tell us that this address can only receive OP from the Optimism network, which is fine because my Metamask wallet is using the Optimism network. This is native op or OP Optimism, right? You can see it right here. So I need to get the address from Coinbase. So we'll go over it. Well, there it is. Let's copy it into our clipboard. Let's go back over to our MetaMask wallet. Now, keep in mind, this is a ledger protected account. So I'm going to need to authorize on my device, and my device is going to need to be in the Ethereum app. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I believe it's in there right now, but let's just get out. So let me move this camera just a little bit closer here. There. So before I initiate this transfer, I'm going to make sure my device is connected and that I'm in the proper app. In this case, the Ethereum app. And you might say, whoa, wait, Rex, you're on the Optimism network. Shouldn't you be in the Optimism app? No. When you're using a ledger device with MetaMask, you always use the Ethereum app. Even if you're using Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Optimism, whatever, it always utilizes the Ethereum app for these. Some people get confused about that. Easy. All right, so our device is ready. Let's pull up the asset. Let's paste in that address that we got from Coinbase. Let's double check that. There it is, 512 at the end, B00 at the beginning. Looks pretty good to me. All right, let's see, all of it? Let's do, the decimals can give you trouble sometimes, so I'm gonna take the decimals off. Let's do... Oh, the balance is 395. Let's do 39. Let's do most of it, right? Let's hit next. All right, and there it is. Okay, the ETH fees are going to be pretty small, but it does require ETH. There, as you notice, there was some ETH in the wallet. Let's give it a second here. All right, let's confirm this. And there. Now it's showing up on my device. Review. Let's hit. A blind signing is enabled. I had to do it. I had no choice. It wouldn't work without blind signing enabled, which can be a security issue, but so it's sending 390 OP out. It's pending. That was a pretty big transfer. I haven't done a big transfer in a while. Okay, it's confirmed. Let's go back over to Coinbase. Let's hit that. Let's go to my assets. Let's do a quick refresh and see if it just shows up really fast. No. No, it's not going to show up right away. Oh, and this thing doesn't scroll right. I don't know why this. I'm going to go over to advanced. And portfolio. Here's OP. So let's go down here and look if there's a incoming trust. Not yet. That would suck if it didn't show up. Okay. No orders. I don't know why this is like being pain. Let's try it again. Okay. Portfolio. Okay. It's not going to be. Well, let's just wait for it to show up. And while we're waiting for it to show up, we can do some other stuff. And hopefully it will show up. I was trying to get it to where I could see that incoming. Let's see if I can do that. Whoops. I would like to see the confirmation that it's incoming. That would be nice. Here. So no, I'm not seeing it incoming yet into my wallet, that's the nerve-wracking part, right? Hopefully we did that right, and we'll see it soon. Let's see, what's our next task? Okay, so it definitely went out on the blockchain. We can confirm that. And according to this, it was successful. So it should show up in Coinbase pretty soon. Let's see, where were we? Our next one was the Shiba Inu. That's pretty straightforward. So let's go back to our Metamask wallet. Here, I'm getting confused. Now we need to switch back to Ethereum. All right. Let's go over to tokens. And as you can see, there's some SHIB in my wallet. We could send the SHIB using Metamask, or we could use it, do it using Ledger Live as well, because it's the same wallet, right? All of these tokens are also in my Metamask, right? Although this one looks like there's more. Okay. All right. So yeah, let's send it from Metamask just for the heck of it. All right, so we'll click into it here. We'll do a send. We'll paste in, oh, we need the address from Coinbase. So we'll do send receive again, and we'll do receive, and this time we'll do SHIB. There's our SHIB. There's the address. Let's go back over here to MetaMask. We'll paste in the address of our SHIB. We'll go ahead and send it all, right? Because the fees will be paid with the Ethereum that's in the wallet. Let's hit next. And we'll confirm we're in the right app on the device already. This is also protected by my device, right? We'll hit review. There's the amount. There we go. Accept and send. And that one's on its way. It goes. Okay, that one's confirmed. Out it goes. Now, the last asset that I wanted to deal with was I had some wrapped ETH. It's been here for a long time. Let's see, you can't see it. It's behind here. There it is, the wrapped Ethereum. Now, let's say I want to deposit that in my Coinbase account. WETH. Whoops. Well, they don't deal with it. Coinbase, in order to, I think if we do this, yeah, Coinbase will tell us that, oh, we don't support it, but you can do it on a DEX, right? So we can't just deposit wrapped ETH in our Coinbase account. So what can we do? Well, we can trade for it and convert it into, say, regular ETH. We could do that. So there's a swap feature in MetaMask. We'll hit swap. And let's put the ETH on the bottom and use our wrapped ETH. And let's just convert it all back to Ethereum. We're also going to need to authorize on the device for this. So we're in the right app. We're ready to roll. Let's hit swap. Wants me to confirm with my device. Okay. I might have been able to turn off blind signing on this one. I'm not sure. Maybe. There it goes. Once it's done with this, then I'll have more regular Ethereum in the account. It's taking a minute. Okay, well, there it is. All right, so now we have more Ethereum than we did before, right? So now we can take that Ethereum and put it in our, okay, there. The account has reflected that the optimism showed up, right? Let's go to portfolio. And so you can see that optimism showed up and the SHIB has not arrived yet. We're still waiting on that one. All right, well, that's good though. Now, let's say we want to deposit some Ethereum. Let's go back here. I'm kind of switching back and forth between regular Coinbase and advanced Coinbase because I can't scroll on this. I should be able to scroll up and down, but it's not working. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway, let's do send receive, and this time we'll receive some regular Ethereum, right? Why not? Wherever it is. There. Okay. Or you can search for it either way. I just need the address, right? There's the address of the Ethereum. This address can only receive Ethereum from Ethereum network. So, but that's fine. We're using the Ethereum network over here. Let's do a send. We'll paste in the address of Coinbase. And I want to do 30 bucks worth, right? That was about how much wrapped ETH we had that we converted. So we'll do about 30 bucks worth. Let's hit next. All right, we'll confirm that. It's 49-cent Ethereum fee. That's Ether. We were talking about that earlier. All right, accept and send. Off it goes. Pending. And confirm. Off it goes. So if we look at that one again, the gas fee here, it was 45 cents worth of ETH. That's Ether, right? That's the part that actually runs under, that makes the network run. That's not necessarily Ethereum. Ethereum is the name of the cryptocurrency. Ether is this like liquid that runs inside it. All right. All right, so that was good. All right, and those should all be arriving in Coinbase shortly. Before I cash out from Coinbase, though, I'd like to show you one that's even a bit more complicated than that. And that is that I've got some Tether in my Tangent wallet that's in the Tron form of Tether. Kind of weird, huh? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's turn this off. Whoops. Let's go over here. Whoops. To our little table demo. All right, we're done with the Trezor for now. And we've got this Tangent card, which is the private key of our Tangent wallet. All right, so let's go into Tangent. All right, and you can see there's a balance, and you can see it better over on the left side of the screen rather than looking at it on my phone. So over on the left side of the screen, you can see that there's $150 worth of Tether in this wallet. But you'll also notice that it has a little icon there that has a little Tron on the top of it. So this is Tron-based Tether. So it's a little tricky to deal with. I can't swap it, right, from within my Tangent wallet. They have swap, like I could swap over here, but I can't really, yeah, they won't let me swap on the Tron network. So what am I going to do with that Tron-based Tether? Well, I can send it to my Binance US account because Binance US supports Tron-based Tether. I know. I don't know how much longer they will, but they do. They don't support Tron, right? You can't put Tron in your Binance US account. They don't support Tron, but they do support Tron-based Tether. Whoops. Hello. All right, so let's move this out of the way here for a sec. Let's go into my Binance US account. So what I want to do is I want to make a deposit, and I want to deposit some Tether into my account. But instead of ERC20 based Tether, I want Tron based Tether. Right? Notice they don't support, like if I try to deposit just regular Tron, they don't support that. But I don't have Tron. I do have some, but what I'm worried about right now is that Tether. So I'll switch network from ERC20 over here to TRC, from ERC20 to TRC20. Now that is a Tron address, right? That I can move that crypto in. So I need to get the address in my Tangem wallet, and I can do that simply by scanning. I want to do a send, and notice there's a little icon there to open up the camera, right? So I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I have my phone and I want to scan this address. I'll just hold my phone up there and scan the address. So now you can see that the Tron address of my Binance US account is now in the Tangem app. And how much do I want to use? Well, I've got a balance of 150. I'll just do, I won't send it all. Let's just do 120. Let's do it like that. All right, and now that we've got all that information entered, let's go back over here to the table demo. Being cautious not to accidentally mute my mic. Now I want to do a send, and I need the card. And you generally need to have your card turned in this orientation when you want to authorize an outgoing transaction. So I'll hit send. And I've got a Face ID. Now I need to hold up my card. And there it goes. And we were successful. Transaction has been successfully signed and sent to the blockchain node. Wallet balance will be updated in a while. In a little while. Okay, there. I've got 30 left, which is fine. Let's go back over here. Oh. That's a cute picture of Alex. Way back in the day. Let's see, we can get rid of this. Get rid of that. Let's refresh our Binance US. And it might take a little bit. Let's check here. Yeah, it might take a few minutes for that to show up. Oops. Oop-a-doop-a-doo. So let's see here. Let's do a... Oops. This is kind of a hassle the way this works. Okay. I can check my Tangem wallet. Or can I? I'm just wondering where the outgoing transactions are. Okay. Oh, transaction is in progress. Okay. Oh, transaction history. Nah, that's not what I want. Well, I could use that, I guess. No, that's not my tether, really. Okay. I was just kind of trying to figure out how you can look at an outgoing transaction from the wallet, but I don't see it. Okay, we'll just wait. So the reason I had to do that in Binance US is because Coinbase doesn't support Tron-based Tether. If I go to Coinbase and say, oh, I want to drop some Tether in here, they will not allow me. The only way to send Tether is ERC20 based, right? So, and I had Tron based Tether. So that's why I'm using Binance US for this. Oh, it's showing up there. So it showed up in Binance US now. And so now you can see that I have a higher balance. Well, I'm still in this dilemma. I could send the Tether over to Coinbase. So if I wanted to receive Tether, I could do that, but because they'll only accept Tether on the ERC20 network, I'll have to send this Tether on the ERC20 network. And, oh, because it doesn't like decimals. That's going to cost me $9.41. Pretty steep because it's on the ERC20 network. So what can I do about that? Well, what I usually do, and there are lots of ways to do this, is I will swap this for something cheap, like Polygon or Solana. So let's try that. Let's see if I can find Solana. I like Sol. It's pretty fast. And I can trade Sol for Tether, right? Now, once I made my deposit into Binance US, Binance US no longer cares what form of Tether that I use to make my deposit. As far as Binance US concerned, that's like full-blown Tether. I can swap it. I can use it as a trading pair for whatever, right? So what we want to do is we're going to buy some Sol. I'll use a market order, and I'll go ahead and just use all of my Tether. Will it let me do that? Yeah. So I've got my Tether here. 100% usually fails, so I'm going to just do 99. I'll hit buy Sol. And now I have Solana. Right? Solana, I can, and it didn't cost me that much. Right? So I can send this Solana over to my Coinbase account. Simple. There's the address, the Sol address of my Coinbase account. We're going to do an exchange to exchange transfer. We'll do a withdraw. And let's max it out, but take the decimal off. And paste in the address of my Coinbase account. I'm leaving a little behind. I'm not too worried about that. There it is. It's only going to cost me 19 cents. And like I said, I left a little behind. It's not the full 120. I need to authenticate that with my Google Authenticator. So we'll check that over here. This is the code for Binance US. And there it goes. It's pending. Now I need to confirm with my email. So I believe that's over here. Wrong email. Whoops. All right, let's do this. I need to go to my CryptoDad email. There's my withdrawal request. I'll confirm that. All right. So we made our withdrawal from Binance US, and it probably cost us less than $1. When I swapped my Tether to Sol, I had a trading fee, and when I made my withdrawal, I had another withdrawal fee. So I was able to transfer the value from Binance US to Coinbase relatively cheaply, right? Didn't cost me that much. So it should come in as Solana here shortly. Let's go to my assets. All right, I still can't scroll in this. I'm not sure what the problem is with that. So I'm going to have to go back over here to advanced so we can look at my portfolio and be able to scroll up and down. There's my OP. There's my SHIB. I had some stuff earlier there. I don't see that Solana yet, so I should see that shortly. Because Solana moves pretty fast, right? So we can go to Solana here. I wish I could see my primary balance of my Solana. But I can't. I have to go back over here to regular Coinbase for that. Something happened. My messages turned off. Wrong camera. Oh, doggone it. Oh, God. I knew something weird was going to happen tonight. Oh, my God. Sorry. Damn it. How long was this? Doggone it. Oh. God, I hate when I happen. All right. Oh, my phone is on. Sorry, Dan. Dan's been texting me. Oh, God. All right. Let me go over what I did so you can see what I did. Let's go back over here to Binance. We got that. We had that Tether. Doggone it. I still have some of it. All right, so we had our ERC20 based Tether, and I swapped it for Solana, right? I left a tiny bit in there. So all I had to do was go over here to Solana and do a trade using Tether, right? All right, so I was able to buy some Solana with my Tether by using a market order, and I don't know if they're going to let me do this one. They might, right? Notice now I've only got about $1 worth of Tether, but I can still make the trade, right? Buy the Sol, and now if we go back to the wallet, that you see I've got some Sol in my Binance US account. Now all I need to do is transfer that Sol into my Coinbase account. So we'll go back over here and we can look up Sol. Oh, we'll do a send receive. We'll receive Sol, SOL. There it is. That Sol has come in now. There's a balance that I sent earlier while you guys couldn't see it. I'll get the Sol address. We'll go back over to Binance US. We'll do a withdrawal. Let's get this up here. We'll do a withdrawal of the Sol. We'll max it out. They're not going to let me withdraw this small amount, but I'll paste in the address there. And that's the address of my Coinbase Sol account. We'll hit preview. Oh, it looks like they're going to let me do this. What do you know? So it's only going to cost me 19 cents. That is the address of my Coinbase Sol, right? ZFOM. There it is, MZFOL, right? We'll hit confirm. We'll use our Google Authenticator. I'm going to let this scroll. 385446. And there, I showed you the transfer. That's what I was doing when you couldn't see me on camera. You could just hear me talking. That won't come through in the podcast, will it? They're like, oh, we couldn't see him we couldn't see him at all anyway. Oh, I still need to get my email from Binance to confirm that withdrawal. So I'll confirm that. Off it goes. And we can go back and look at my Sol wallet. And you can see that I withdrew that tiny amount. And you can see that I withdrew that 6 earlier as well. It was 5 minutes. Oh my God. Sorry about that. That 5 minutes? Really? Yeah. I was over there when I transferred the Tether out of my Tangent wallet. And then I guess when I went back over to the Binance account, you guys couldn't see me. There is no truth to eat my ledger. Keep up the great information for us rookies over here in crypto. Sod. So hopefully you saw the pivotal stuff now that I was doing. Okay. Yeah, I could have done the UST to Matic as well. I chose Sol because I've had pretty good luck with Sol in the past. It usually works pretty well. Let's see what we got in Coinbase now. So Coinbase now, there's like a lot now, right? So we got all of those assets that we transferred over. Let's take a look here over. So we got the OP, we got the Sol, we got the SHIB, and then we send a small amount of Ethereum. Now, how do I cash out, right? That was the whole point of this exercise. Well, I couldn't cash out from Binance US. They don't have crypto off-ramp, fiat off-ramps anymore. They used to, but not anymore. So what we'll do is the first thing I'll do is I'll trade this for cash, OP cash. All right, I'm going to do a sell, and I'll do market, and I'll just sell it all. All right, now if we go back to portfolio, you can see when I do a refresh that now I've got a bunch of cash in there. Let's do the same thing with Sol. Let's go over to trade, Sol USD pair. Let's do sell. Let's go ahead and sell it all. Oh, I need to be in market. All right, we'll sell it all. And we go back to portfolio and do a quick refresh. And now we've got more US dollar. We can do the same thing with the SHIB. Let's do trade. We could also, if we go just to spot, we could also just look for SHIB and choose the SHIB US dollar pair. All right. But now instead of buying SHIB, I want to sell it at market, and I'll just sell it all. And there we go. And that happened pretty quick. So now we've got more US dollar. If we do this, we should have healthy amount of dollars in there. Let's go ahead and sell that Ethereum. We'll hit trade, sell, market, 100%, sell. Oh, that didn't take. Too fast, right? Too fast? Or did I just do it? I don't know. Did it happen? Yes, I sold the Ethereum. Let's see. We can even. There was some link in there from earlier that I transferred last week. Let's trade that for dollars. We'll do market. We'll do sell. We'll do 100%. We'll hit sell. All right. Now, if we go over here to portfolio, you can see now that we've got a lot of cash here now. Now, how do we cash out to the bank? That's the last step here. So I can go over here and do withdraw when I'm like hovering on top of US dollar. I could do it that way. I can go back to regular Coinbase and just do, go to my assets and just do, click on the three dots over here. Or no, I have to click on top of dollar. Now I can choose cash out and tell it, well, how much do I want to cash out? Let's do 650. And I'm going to do continue here. And I have to choose which bank I want to send it to. I'm going to send this out to Lake Michigan Credit Union. And it won't scroll. What is wrong with this? It's really annoying. All right. God, that is so annoying. I cannot scroll in regular Coinbase. It won't scroll. So annoying. All right, let's go back to advanced Coinbase and do it that way. Let's go to portfolio. Let's go to withdraw. And we can hit cash out all, but we're not going to do that. Let's do 650. All right, let's do continue. And now you can see it all. Let's hit Lake Michigan Credit Union. And we'll hit continue. And there's no instant with my Lake Michigan, but it will arrive within a few business days, usually within less than 24 hours. If I do it on a weekday in the morning, it's usually there by the afternoon. I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend, but let's hit it, right? It says it will arrive by Friday of next week, but it will probably be there by Monday or Tuesday. And it's free when you don't use the instant. Now, if I want it automatically in my Chase account, I can do an instant, right? So let's do a quick refresh. Let's do withdraw, cash out, and let's just do 140, leave just a little bit in. We'll hit continue, and this time we'll pay that $2.10 fee on Chase, and hit continue, and cash out preview. Cash out now. You guys see me cash out a lot from Coinbase? Huh, they didn't even ask for my two-factor on the instant cash out. That's kind of weird. Doesn't usually do that. Usually when I do an instant cash out, it asks for my two-factor. I can confirm from my phone that it's already in my Chase account, even on a weekend, which really boggles my mind. So if I can do an instant transfer on a weekend and have it show up in my bank account right away, even outside of banking hours, why do they even have this whole, oh, a regular transfer is going to take 2 to 3 business days? I mean, why is it that I can pay extra to have it happen right away? And why won't they just do that for everything? I don't get it. Whatever. Right? But there's our cash out process. Some of it was pretty easy. Some of it was more complicated, and you lost me on camera there for about 5 minutes. I apologize profusely for that. I did, Dan was texting me, but my phone was on silent, so I didn't see Dan texting me. He's like, thank you, Dan. Yeah, I'm getting old, and I put my phone on silent all the time now because like nothing is important enough to disturb me. I should put it back on. I should take it off silent during the live stream from now on so I can hear Dan's text. So we got that. How's it going? Okay, Dan is tagging off. What they're not saying is that the government is allowed to give your information to the government if required. Well, according to, I was worried about the government demanding access to the information, but according to these blog posts, this is self-encrypted, even though they're using your biometric and your identifying documents. They're saying that it's stored in encrypted format, but who's to say that it's not, captured while you're doing all this? Who knows, right? Maybe somebody can snoop during the process. I'm just not going to go through all this. Even if it worked flawlessly, I wouldn't be comfortable with having to connect to Ledger whenever I need to do a restore. I would rather just it be between me, my recovery phrase written down on paper, and my device. That's just me. But anyway, thank you guys for being here tonight. Sorry that it was, I dropped camera there for a little while. And when I was going back and forth, at least my mic didn't get muted. Anyway, I will be signing off here. Wouldn't be a CryptoDad live stream without some technical glitch of some kind or some camera mismanagement or mic mismanagement. But I want to thank everybody once again for being here tonight and supporting me and my channel. Check out the description for all of the affiliate links if you're interested in any of the hardware wallets that I've done countless videos on. Check them out down in the description below. I will be here again next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered and do a lot of crypto demo and crypto transfers for you guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, JDO. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, everyone that was here and contributing and answering questions or asking questions. If you want to shoot me an email, feel free. I've got my email in the address in the description down below. Once again, I'll see you guys next week.